Yeah.
Hey, Stacy, what do you got there?
Well, I am working on my paper chain, and a paper chain is where you take these strips of paper and you put them in a circle and they glue it onto each other, and then it makes a whole length of it like this, and you can use it on your Christmas tree, or you could put it along the railing somewhere, or you could even hang it up in your bedroom on the wall. Um, but I really, really like how colorful it is. And there's a thing about colors, like, are there certain colors that always make you think of certain things?
Yeah, well, there's kind of colors around us all the time. Like red means stop, and green means go. And we just had Halloween, which is usually like black and orange because of pumpkins. And red, white, and blue. You see lots of red, white, and blue stuff because those are the colors of our country's flag. And so, yeah, and all flags have colors with them. So I think those are some of the colors we see a lot of.
And what about during the winter holidays? What are some colors that you typically see around that time?
Well, you see colors, there's the fall colors that are more brown and stuff, right? That remind you of the leaves and the leaves changing colors. But then you also see a lot of things with green in them just to remind you of springtime. So a lot of times there's the things of fall do have a hint of green in them somewhere to remind us that spring is coming.
That's true. And interestingly, there's a lot of celebrations in December for different cultures and different religions, and they all have different colors that represent something significant for them. Like, you might see blue and white associated with Hanukkah, and Hanukkah is a Jewish holiday, the Jewish festival of lights. And blue and white are also the colors of the Israeli flag, and Israel is considered the holy land of Judaism. So that is how those colors came to be important for that holiday. And then the solstice is coming up towards the end of December, and during the solstice, it's a lot about nature, kind of like Barry was talking about. So for the solstice, there's a lot of green for evergreen trees and holly, and there's red to represent like flames from the fire because it's about warmth, and gold for the sun because it's the return of the sunlight, and white for the snow. So those are some of the colors with the solstice and with Hanukkah. But what about Christmas, Barry? What about Christmas colors?
Well, a lot of times green is also one of the Christmas colors because we use a lot of green in decorating, and a lot of Christmas stories have evergreen trees in them, and the eternal um, kind of the eternal green color of evergreen trees is used in there. And then the color red is a part of Christmas too, which signifies Jesus' blood, the redeeming quality of that in the Christian tradition. And then there's gold that you see a lot uh, in Christian celebrations too, because gold was one of the gifts that was brought to Jesus by the wise men.
So another holiday that's celebrated in December is Kwanzaa, and the colors in Kwanzaa are green, red, and black. And Kwanzaa is a lot about Africa. So the green is the green African lands, and the black is for the African people, and the red is for the people who have stood up for what is right. And so those are the Kwanzaa colors. But Barry, what do all these colors from all of these different cultures and all of these different religions and all these different traditions actually have in common?
Well, I think everywhere on the planet, people see the colors that are around them in nature, and they're inspired by those colors, and we all have them. And we're inspired by the colors that surround us in the place we happen to grow up, right? And so you see that in the flags of the different countries, and all of the countries have their own colors that represent things to them and are very meaningful to them. But there's some common elements. White is a common element in a lot of flags, and it represents purity, right? And all cultures are looking for that. And I think when you get to the heart of it, you know, that's part of the thing that ties us all together is the colors of the earth that are reflected in all of our celebrations. And, you know, we see the celebrations with candles, and we see the celebrations with the green that goes around the candles, and it's all over the world that you see those things. And that's what's interesting when you move into different cultures and learn about different cultures, you see so many similarities. And I think that's true about color as well.
I agree with you. So as you're looking at colors, right, they are inspired by what's happening with a particular group of people and where they are, and the colors that they see and the colors that are important to them. But, you know, a lot of these colors represent certain things. Maybe love, a certain color represents love, or a color represents peace or faith or giving. And those God qualities, those spirit qualities, those are common to all people. They are common to all people, regardless of where they are, what age they are, what culture they're in, what religion they're in. And I think that's actually one of the reasons that so many of these colors are in common for celebrations, is because they're the colors that we have in common amongst us because of the important things that we represent, all of those God qualities and spirit qualities. And I know that I will be definitely thinking about that when I'm working on my paper chains and putting up all of my holiday decorations. And I just love that when you can look at colors, you can remember those qualities, the love and the peace and the hope that all of us really do have in common. And Barry, you have our affirmation today.
Every color is a gift of spirit.
That's true. Every color is a gift of spirit. All right, everybody. We'll see you again. Bye.
Be colorful.